All right, making a little video first thing this morning, and as you can see, there's a video over here that is Shellback Beau, and he's talking about creatures, playable races to use in your campaign. And this is actually a really good video. So he does mention about, you know, he does mention someone named James and being, I guess, arrogant or whatever. I'm going to assume he might mean me. So I will respond. When I ran the Kaliningrad campaign, I allowed gnomes, dwarves, elves, humans, and I'm trying to think if there's any other player character types I allowed. That was like a 10-year campaign with AD&D and then OSC Advanced. How I ran it based on, say, 10th, 11th century Russian Empire type stuff. So it might even been a little later, 11th century, whenever there was an actual empire instead of just a bunch of Vikings hanging out. But there were a lot of demi-humans and stuff like that actually in my game. Beastmen and orcs and actually, no, there were no orcs in the Kaliningrad campaign. I just removed them and halflings. But orcs were kind of replaced by bullywugs and other things like that. I think what I was trying to do is just get as far away from Tolkien, as possible. And again, I always say, not because of a dislike of Tolkien. I love Tolkien. I just wanted to try to do my own thing. So it was heavily influenced by Eastern European culture, and the number of races were somewhat limited. Now, one thing that was different about my campaign is werewolves. Werewolves? They're wolves. They were actually allowed as a playable race, and they were not, these cursed lycanthropes. They were just a tribe of humans from the far north that had the ability to, on some occasions, transform into wolves. So that was a thing. I mean, were they furries? I don't know. That's up to you. They were, gigantic Viking type guys that could transform into wolves. Anyway, when it comes to the races you allow in your own campaign game, personally, I don't think there's a wrong answer, really. It's like, it's your campaign game, you do what you want, right? No, that won't protect me from talking a little smack, but that's good natured smack. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being like, furry, whatever, talking a little shit. But personally, yeah, I don't, you know, I mean, because think about this. One of my favorite games that I play, and everybody should know, is in the past, Shadowrun. I love Shadowrun. And that game is full of the weirdest shit, right? But even if I want to get weirder, I am a huge, huge fan of Traveler and Traveler 2300. And there's some weird stuff in there too. I mean, in theory, you could have players playing lion men or dog men, or in 2300, actually, I don't know if you can play aliens in that, but maybe you can. I don't know. So the point is, my current human supremacy type attitude really that only applies to Hyperborea. So Like Shellback has a picture of this like cool looking turtle guy in Twilight Imperium. There's like this turtle race, and I always thought they were really cool. Even though I always played humans because I like humans. That's my favorite race to play, humans. I think they're the most interesting race, but the turtles are kind of cool. I guess my point is really this: do whatever you want, and if I make fun of you for it, it's good natured. Because if I don't like you, I won't talk to you. That's really it, unless I'm saying something really mean, right? Two, so Shellback's got his own channel and he's making some good videos. So the few of you guys who actually listen to my videos occasionally and whatever, maybe head over and give him a subscribe, a thumbs up. Uh, just support a guy. He's you know got some good opinions. I think I've been listening to his videos all morning and enough that it inspired me to actually make a video of my own. So yeah, yeah, get out there and give Showback some love. Um, he's I think a better speaker than I am for sure. So yeah, give him some love. Maybe time to stay away from the furries or not. I will say this: Lizardmen in a fantasy campaign, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. As a playable race, still awesome. That's just something that I don't know. It's like I remember in Dragon Magazine a long time ago, there were articles about the Saurians or something, this huge lizard man empire that rode dinosaurs around and everything like that. And then in Warhammer, you kind of got something like that with Lustria. And it always struck me as weird that in your standard like D&D campaigns, you almost never ever see the lizardmen as an actual civilization, a nation of lizardmen, whether they're based on Mayans or the Far East or even something weirder or Egypt or whatever. It seems to me that if any humanoid other than my beloved hobgoblins, obviously, would have a big empire, it would definitely be lizardmen. And they have totally been left in the shadows for too long. So Shellback mentions those. And if he's thinking about adding lizardmen as a playable thing and a whole culture in his campaign, that I 100% agree with. Yes, that's a great idea. There should be some region, whether it's Egyptian style or whatever, where you have like just an empire of lizard men. You know, you could even base it on like if you want to get real deep dive with it, you could base it on like the whole Anunnaki thing, where like the lizardmen could have been the first intelligent race, right? And maybe it was the lizardmen's meddling with their magic that brought about the creation of the other races on on the world: humanity, elves, dwarves, the whole lot, orcs, goblins, all of it could have been genetic experiments carried out by lizardmen. um, Adventure Conquer King kind of touches on this, kind of, and yeah, I think that would make for a really cool campaign, especially if you did something like your campaign setting was split between like a southern continent that was very much like North Africa, and then a northern continent that was very much, colder and everything like that. And, the lizard men have this huge empire and human slaves and whatever. And I mean, yeah, that would be really cool. If you want to add, like anthropomorphic animals to your game, yeah, lizard men are definitely a way to go, you know. So yeah. Anyway, check out Shellback's video. See what you think about it. It's a good video. And until next time, peace.